Hey guys, finding the perfect gift for the food lover in your life is easy. Thanks to Goldbelly. Goldbelly ships America's most iconic foods straight from world-famous restaurants right to your door. So if you want to treat someone to Joe's Stone Crab from Miami, Franklin Barbecue from Texas, or desserts from famous foodies like Ina Garten or Martha Stewart, Goldbelly has you covered. Just go to goldbelly.com and for a limited time, get 20% off your first order with promo code GIFT. That's promo code GIFT.
What is up, Los Angeles, and welcome back to your Rams LAFB show. It is Friday. That means it is the final practice report with our good friend, our pal, Erin Coscarelli out there live from Rams HQ. What is going on out there, and how are you doing?
You know, it's been a day of, I believe, kind of just taking it in because, we had here in, Woodland Hills, Rams media, I feel very blessed and lucky to, Coach said a quote, "You are who you surround yourself with," when we asked a question that we'll get into. And the from the media to the staff here, to the crew here, to the team and the excellence, it's really felt like a special year. And just to witness everything kind of coming together despite a lot of the adversities the team's gone through. So, it felt light, but focused and serious. And we heard from Stafford. We heard from McVay. We heard no Devontae, I don't believe. I mean, I've been mostly in my cubby today, but then we went out for practice. We watched the team take some reps. And I mean, they're just focused. There's a lot to get into with this matchup against the Seahawks, the rubber match trilogy in Seattle, no less. We talked about this on Wednesday. It's so apropos. Yeah, a lot of excitement, though, coming out of Rams camp for sure.
Rubber match and apropos in the same sentence. I have to say that I'm just impressed that your vernacular, your vocabulary is stunning to me, as always. But just touching on the quick injury report here, Byron Young listed as questionable, and Rob Havenstein, who they elevated from the injured reserve, he will not be playing. As far as I know, he's been ruled out. But what's the word on Big Byron, Big BY?
Yeah, BY. It was more of a precautionary thing. I said, Coach was asked. He's fully expecting him to play Sunday. They're just limited snaps with him today out of an abundance of caution, err on the side of caution. He's taken a lot of mental reps, but expect him to be a full go. So I think they're just being careful with him. Obviously, he makes a big difference on the defensive side of the ball. They don't want to put him in any kind of harm's way on a Friday before they leave. They leave tomorrow. So I think he'll be good to go. I think it's just he popped up on the injury report, probably got a sore knee, and but he'll be okay.
Yeah, he was limping around a little bit in that last game, the Bears game. So not entirely surprising, but it is an area of concern. I do have an article up on LAFBnetwork.com about Jared Verse, his partner in crime on the other side of the business there. And just kind of, can we demand a good game from the pass rush? One of the things that really, Sam Darnold has trouble with is what John Ledyard from the Read Optional podcast calls perceived pressure. And Chris Shula and kind of what he's become known for this year particularly is moving those guys around a lot in simulated pressures, stunting them and stuff like that. So, it all
right. And that's one of the X factors, right? Is the pressure Darnold feels against this team. And this team has history with Mr. Darnold starting from last year when he was with the Vikings. 9 sacks in the wild card And then, he's been intercepted a bevy of times this season. Chris Shula is familiar with Darnold. And I think, to me, which we'll get into because I know you want to talk about the matchup, what is the biggest X factor in this one? Obviously, the pass rush and Darnold. There's been a prevailing theme with that combination.
Bevy, also a good word. Nice.
Did I just say bevy? God, I'm good.
You are so good. Excuse me. So McVay was at the podium. You had the question of the day. That's what I hear from NFL media anyway. you had the home run there. What'd you ask him and what did he have to say?
Well, listen, I am always trying to find parallels between this beautiful sport of football and the game of life. And I saw in the transcripts, I didn't come to HQ yesterday, but Puka was asked a really good question. See, this light always goes out, and there is no light in this telephone booth of mine. There we go. All right. I have to have a setup here. I feel so bad too. I think it gets a little loud out there. And I'm like, I come in here and I just, I mind my P's and Q's. It's like a little phone booth. You'll come next, you'll see. And it's like, yeah. Anyways, they're like, can she be social? I'm usually really social, just sort of not always here. I asked Coach because yesterday he was asked about Puka. Or Puka was asked, what did you learn from Coach? Or what has he taught you and how has he helped you develop as a man? And what was interesting is because Puka's had a busy off season, he became a father. There were some distractions, maybe some great learning opportunities for him. And Puka's
quick question. That paternity test came back.
Mm-hmm. He became a father. Okay. That's all I know now about that. Right. But he's had, and he's what, 24, 25? I mean, these are young men, right? With a lot of pressure, a lot of eyes, expected to perform like they should. And the Rams have high expectations on the men that are here. And that's what they need to be. Not just the players, the coaching staff, a high character individual must be a part of the Rams organization. So one of the things that Puka said was emotional regulation and his ability to communicate was the two things he really took from McVay this season and just in general from his time with him as a player and a coach. So I just kind of flipped the script. I said, what have you learned, Coach, this year from your players the most? And he he was first, he was a little like, wow, he said he learned emotional regulation from me. And he kind of like joked around. I think he found that amusing because we've all seen McVay have moments of real passion on the sidelines,
Well, that is a lifelong pursuit. I'm still working on my own emotional regulation here at 42.
Yeah. I'm not sure it ever gets mastered, and that's okay. And that means you care. I would rather be passionate than indifferent about something. I'd rather have emotional
dropping bars today. You gotta write a book.
It's what happens when you're here on site. It's like you just absorb. Anyway, so McVay, he thought that was amusing, but he really did give it a great response in saying what I've learned about this team is that you show up and you love them enough not to want to disappoint them. And he just really kind of talked about how much he loves this team, what they've been through, and it's not just on the football field. He was equating it to the game of life, and he just really expanded on, that when you love your players and you love your team, you go above and beyond because you don't want to disappoint them. And that actually got brought up separately about his play calling. And, and he was like, which we talked about on Wednesday, so you're seeing from this coach show up and bring a high character because I think in moments of his challenges, someone has done it for him. And if you really care, and he's like, and he even said, he's like, I don't always get it right at times. He says that a lot, which I always am appreciative of, his ability to be vulnerable and say he hasn't always gotten it right. Because I think that too is what this coaching staff does. This coaching staff will always say, hey, how are you doing? But then offer up what they might be going through. And that was some of the things that Puka had said when I was reading the transcripts. When you have a family and you're having a bad day and you're showing up, there's a comfort in this, like, it feels like a brotherhood that have gone through these crazy trenches together, and it's only made them stronger. So it'll be really interesting to see this team if they can make it all the way through and how that turns out. But they've been tested in so many different ways, and it's not just showing up on the football field. It seems like it's showing up off as well.
Yeah, resiliency is the word of the year, it seems like, from coming out of that coaching staff and that team across the board. Yeah, super interesting. And you bring up the coaching staff, and this coaching staff is going to see some changes. We don't know exactly what it's going to be, but interviews have gone out for Shula. Aubrey Pleasant, I saw, was interviewed for another job for the DC position at the Chargers, just down there in El Segundo. LaFleur, Shieldhaas is getting head coaching interviews, which is amazing, incredible for him. But we're going to see some changes, and Coach talked a bit about his process of interviewing. And let's be honest, this guy has assembled some of the greatest coaching staffs over the years. Under, just look around the league, the guys that he's had in this building, so to speak. So, what did he shed light on in terms of that?
Yeah, well, he was asked about that because as his staff are taking interview opportunities and, looking at potential places outside of the Rams headquarters, so must the Rams then, right? And then they begin an interviewing process should something happen where we will see a change during the offseason or whenever. The Rams will start to look to who would be an admirable replacement. And Sarah Barshop of ESPN asked McVay today, said, what is it like, being in an interview with you, and how does that all go down? And it is really interesting because, again, how he sees things and what matters to him, he's doing something right. How many head coaches has it been out of him? Has it been like 5, 7? I don't know why I want to say 7, but I don't know if that's accurate or not, so don't quote me. But a lot.
Yeah.
And probably going to happen, again, whether it's this season or not. But he said he's like, first of all, we measure the fit. But also what is the most important is he doesn't think you're a good coach if you don't have good character. So that is the thing that he kind of subscribes to the most. And what that means is, how do you help elevate? How do you help communicate? How do you connect with people? And, it was almost kind of very similar to his answer when I asked him about being a coach to Puka and what he's learned. He's like, you just don't want to let people down. And so how do you show up as a collective? But then he also said the other thing that's great is it means we're doing a really good job, because if someone's wanting to take our coaches, we're doing something right here. And also it's an opportunity to bring in some fresh talent, some new ideas. Cause he said, I love this. He's like, stay curious. He's like, I have to evolve too. And this is a man that is 39 and he's going to be 40 on Saturday, which is tomorrow.
That's right.
It's high level. It's some high level stuff.
He apparently is not a fan of his birthday, nor being 40. What was this I heard about birthday wishes? This is, good news to you Twitter people. Don't be too eager.
Yeah.
To wish him happy birthday.
Yeah, don't even think about it. He will not be happy. I guess he doesn't like to celebrate his birthday. It's interesting because it's right around Super Bowl. So he's like, So it must be a hard birthday for a competitive NFL coach because you're either celebrating advancing. He's like, my birthday present is my work, is hopefully I'm working and continuing to work. He said, I'm not a fan of birthdays. Don't wish me a happy birthday. Of course, we know McVay is turning 40. He's 39. And he made a funny joke to Gary Klein of the LA Times because with McDermott out, is McVay now like second in line? He used the word seniority, Gary did. And McVay's like, hey, calm down on the seniority. And he kind of pointed back at Gary. And it was, I don't know if I'm being loud or not. See, I need to be quiet. I see people looking over here. And he was in a great mood. And he's got this like, he's focused, but yet he doesn't take things too seriously. But don't wish him a happy birthday, period, the end. He's going to be 40, but he doesn't want to talk about it.
He said he will slap you around if you wish him a happy 40th. And listen, Coach, I know you watch. I know you're avid. We are the most influential Rams podcast out there. I haven't said that, but we are. It's been proven. 40's great, man. I've loved my 40s so far. 40s. I'm coming up on 43. I'm glad, Coach. I shouldn't. It's May. It's a little ways away. But my 40s have been great. Get on board, man.
I mean, listen, but I will say you feel like you're jumping off a cliff. I don't know what it is. I've never had a weird issue with my age. I don't lie about it. I'm 41. You can Google it. It's like no big deal. It doesn't bother me. Not yet. But there was a thing that when I was like, oh, I'm going for my third. And I think that probably just happens when you go into a new decade. But you're right. It's been smooth sailing. It's been smooth. No, I'm kidding. But it's not so bad. It really isn't so bad out there, guys.
People call me sir now. That's kind of nice. Not gonna lie.
Wow. It's the haircut. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I forgot to bring it up after you're talking about Puka Nacua and the influence going both ways. When the year 2024, I asked Cooper Kupp, you have influenced Puka Nacua in innumerable ways. I just saw, I think Nate Adkins had an article up about that. So I asked Cooper, like, what has he had a good influence on you? Because I saw this video during the off season. They were all up on stage at some country concert, and they were singing the song into the mic, at this country concert. And Cooper Kupp is like not like an out front kind of, party animal or wild man, but he really didn't. He didn't say much. He didn't say that Puka had really been a good influence on him. Maybe he got him out of his shell a little bit. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just been, I think the thing is, it's been maybe a challenging season for Puka.
Yeah.
And more so than normal when you have a lot of eyes on you and there are things that the coach had to answer that maybe he could have been frustrated by. But one of the things that McVay always says is, I'm going to put my arm around you. So I think the thing we appreciate, whether you're a player or just a person, is who's there for you during the lowest, because those are the hardest. It's easy to be there when you're winning, but who's really there for you when you're losing is the question. And I think that's maybe what Puka might have been referring to.
I would say so. So you had Nate Adkins. We already brought him up, but you had him on your show. Go check that out. Believe in Rams with Erin Coscarelli. Had Nate on. What he was
so great.
He's so
great. We should do like a you, me, Nate, and it could just go on because the thing that's hard when I'm with you guys, it's like there's too much to talk about. There's never enough time, and audiences and their attention spans are short. We could deep dive on so many different levels, this team. And Nate is great. Yeah.
And really spoiled. I mean, Jordan Rodrigo over at The Athletic before him as the beat
I
writer
know.
got, even, people outside of the building, like the Rams brothers who are great, and Jake Ellenbogen do really good work, and First and Tuna podcasts. We got a really excellent group of people covering this team. So you guys are lucky. not just because you get to look at me, but what did he touch on for this game? I've been listening, I've been breaking things down, trying to figure out what edges are out there. I'm like, this game's going into overtime. This is going to be a 1-point game as well. It's so hard to parse that it's even like, anyway, what did Nate have to say?
I mean, right. Well, again, just keeping real close attention on who could have the edge. This team feels so evenly matched. Number one scoring offense, number one scoring defense. There's so much in the way of just like yummy storylines. And, Nate just said, if it goes the way it's been going, this thing could go into triple overtime and just come down to a 2-point conversion. But this time he thinks that the Rams would be ready for that. So I think it's just, he had asked a really great question to Stafford. I believe it was Stafford. I can't remember, but he basically just asked, now that we have Devontae back, he said, you're getting Devontae back. You didn't have him last year. And what does he bring to this team? Because remember too, Devontae's had a lot of NFC title experience, but just no big game. And Stafford has not had as much NFC title experience. And kind of Stafford made the joke of, well, Devontae's had I remember I was somewhere else for 12 years before I really had a chance to, break into that. So I think just the X factor and what Devontae will potentially bring that's different this game that wasn't available when the Rams played the Seahawks week 16 in Seattle. I think just kind of like we're all trying to do, sort of parse together, but really put how big this moment really feels for both teams. And again, we kind of talked about Cooper Kupp. They dished Cooper, they brought in Devontae, and now they get to play. And there's, it'll be a very highly anticipated game.
Yeah, for sure. I saw in the description anyway, I haven't watched the episode, but special teams was brought up. Did he have any kind of insight on
who are me with Nate or today with McVay? That's so funny. I actually, so mad. I interviewed Mevis today. I interviewed him and I had the recording, and guess what my iPhone did?
Oh no, what happened?
No storage. But I'm like, I can't even, and I didn't even have the ability to ask him. I'm like, just, I can't even ask. I can't even go through this wonderful interview yet again a second time. It was amazing. But it's just how special they have been in the way that McVay made a mid-season coaching fire, which he's never done before. And then to address the problems that they were having, not just in the kicking game, but remember the blocked kicks that kept happening over and over again? I mean, so the sense of urgency that McVay has executed when things are not right, because we did also kind of, there's the accountability part where he is looking at himself saying, I could have done a better job. He's also going to try to put his team in the best position to win when it comes to his staff.
Hey guys, finding the perfect gift for the food lover in your life is easy. Thanks to Gold Belly. Gold Belly ships America's most iconic foods straight from world-famous restaurants right to your door. So if you want to treat someone to Joe's Stone Crab from Miami, Franklin Barbecue from Texas, or desserts from famous foodies like Ina Garten or Martha Stewart, Gold Belly has you covered. Just go to goldbelly.com and for a limited time, get 20% off your first order with promo code GIFT. That's promo code GIFT.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, Was it the right move to fire Chase Blackburn? You know, you had to do something. You had to create some amount of urgency for everybody, you know, and you know, it goes back to that big word accountability that he likes to talk about as well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, did it change the world and fix everything? Are they going to be able to stop Rashid Shaheed? You know, they're probably not going to kick to him. But you know, they're living up to their ethos of, hey, you know, like, we're executing or we're making adjustments. So you gotta appreciate that, you know? Yeah. So, I mean, we could dive into this game more. I think you just got to watch it. I mean,
where are you at with this? I mean, look, okay, we've got a busted oblique, but maybe it's not so bad. You don't have Charbonnet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Devontae's back. You know, I asked Gary Klein to shake his, like, the future. I'm like, what does it say? Tell me now. What are you leaning, Gary? And he did he gave me I'm not sure I should say it, but he did give me his thought on it. But I'm just curious with you, like, where are you at with this game, and where are you leaning, and where do you think the edge is? Who has the advantage?
Yeah, like I said, you know, I've been doing my due diligence trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
And you know, when I get to a certain point in that process where I just go like, I'm like, in breaking routes, is that the answer? You know, it's you know, at that point I take a big step back and I go, coaching quarterback, who do I like more? And McVay and Stafford is the answer to that question. I mean, and kind of what I was trying to say about offense being a bit inevitable, there is that to it as well, where this is the better offense heading into that game.
Mm-hmm.
But then I say, when was the last time? How many times has this Rams team played a elite defense this season? Seattle, Houston. I think that's it. I looked at it today. There might be a couple of decent ones in there. You know, there was a fairly low scoring affair the first time around, a very high scoring affair the next time around. This game is going to come down to the margins, and that's, you know, turnovers, that's special teams, you know, who makes the fewest mistakes, and these are two very, very well coached teams. Now I will bring up the trenches, which is kind of another place I go when trying to parse out games that are too close to call. Seattle's defensive line has an advantage over the Rams' offensive line in my mind, but you flip that around and the same thing is true. I think the Rams' defensive line has an advantage. So then you just go back to Stafford versus Sam Darnold, and it's like, well, Stafford's going to handle pressure a lot better. Or is he? Because, you know, he's taken a few shots in the last few games. I think he's hurt. I think he's feeling something somewhere.
Stafford?
Yeah. And that's why his play has kind of tapered off. He's not looking like that midseason MVP where he was just insane. So this is an old chestnut, as I like to say. This is a tough one to crack. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's just it's like, I'm gonna watch this game and have a great time doing it. I think it's gonna be close. I don't think it. I mean,
yeah. One of the things that McVay was asked about, it was at the end, and it was kind of a throwaway answer, but I actually liked what he said. He said, in his opinion, the X factors, you know, somebody was asking him. He said, you know, it's always about our guys. So what's the Rams competitive stamina? He wants to see this team be completely present and be in the moment, stay humble when you're winning, and stay, focused if you're not. And then to have the courage to go for it, which always kind of is like the McVay theme, to always kind of have the same sort of repetitive thoughts. But if you think about it, it makes so much sense. When you are fully present, as they were when they drove down the field with the Devontae reception, and then Harrison Mevis puts himself in a position to kick it through the uprights. That was like an unbelievable display in human psychology of being present, because you needed to know, like, it was inclement weather and it was a hostile environment. It was so loud, and Caleb Williams just drove it down the field and threw one of the most incredible. If you were thinking about that moment, you would not have been able to perform in overtime when your backs were against the wall and you're in Chicago and you're freezing cold. And I think that's going to be what matters most, is how coach says it all the time, be present. But it's so true when you are down and you can let your thoughts be the noise or the distraction, which this team has gone through a lot this season. So I think that's the X factor. Did that make sense what I just said?
Yeah, 100%. Which team is going to be more present and standing where their feet are, I guess, is something I've heard from McVay, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love that. I think, that's a much more human answer than mine in breaking routes.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think it's just who's going to be the most willing to handle the trials and tribulations of the moments that are not going to be easy. And it's just you're at a disadvantage when you're in a environment like Seattle. So
yeah, the Athletic Football Show with the great Robert Mays. He's fantastic. Let's listen to those shows as well. Was talking about how young these two teams are. Coming out of 22, kind of doing the on the fly rebuild around the load bearing walls, Stafford, Cooper Kupp, and Aaron Donald, which is crazy to say that those guys are gone. Anyway. And I was just going to bring up the veteran leadership. So I think an edge that the Rams really do have. Stafford's been here before.
yeah,
Havenstein has been here. Devontae Adams played a lot of football. He's been to an NFC Championship before. You look on the other side, it's they don't have that same kind of edge. I wouldn't say. Mike McDonald. I mean, he coached for the Ravens, who have had a good amount of success, but they not in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So even going up to that level, I think, really there's an edge there for sure.
Totally. Yes. And Stafford was asked about just being with a coach where you have more experience in those moments together with the coach, right? Darnold doesn't have that necessarily, hasn't played in a title game like this. And then just with the new team and, I mean, it both storylines with both teams are fascinating to me, but who has the edge? I'm not going to say it, but we all know who it is.
Who are you picking on the AFC? What do you think? You're leading Pats, I think.
Yeah, well, I feel like, I feel bummed out that Broncos had what they had, went down. But I feel like Stidham, it's kind of like, when the backup Baker Mayfield comes in and he's like, I just got to go for it. So I'm in a group chat with like my fantasy football guys, and some people are saying they think the Broncos. And I'm
that's why I'm going too.
Really?
Sean Payton is a great
Sean
coach.
Payton
And that defense.
Yeah.
And Drake
Stidham has played in big games in college. It's just a bummer. It's like, it's just Bo Nix goes down and you're like, no, so I don't know. I kind of am leaning towards the Pats, but you're going Broncos, really?
Yeah, just the Pats offensive line is just not that great. And Drake May is good, and they have a good running game and whatnot, but but they're just going up against those freaking terrorizers on the defense. And Drake May is going to get put in the ground several times in this game. And
so you let me ask you this.
Low scoring, gross game, nothing pretty about it at all, I don't think.
Oh,
and I think that's the way the Broncos have played all season, and that's the way they like it. They're pigs in the poo.
Wait, so who would you rather the Rams face? Is that a different answer?
Oh, I would love. I mean, I like watching good football, so I think the Patriots would probably put up a better game. But I don't think the AFC. I don't think the AFC is winning a Super Bowl this year. Period, hands down. I don't think that's happening.
You're saying the Super Bowl is happening on Sunday.
Yeah,
and it's up north. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Oh. Also, an edge for the Seahawks. I haven't brought it up yet. It's not going to be cold there, but it's going to be loud. It's going to be really loud. And that does get to Sean McVay. It's calling timeouts. The play clock drains down. But anyhow, that's all we've got. We will be back on Sunday right after the game, win, loss. There's no draws in the playoffs.
Oh, there is a SoFi watch party for people tuning in. It's hard for me to go to a location. I don't know. I'll send you the details, but I think fans can go to SoFi and watch it. I'm assuming on the Jumbotron.
Yep.
I'm not sure. I don't know if I can. It's hard for me to work and fan out. I can do both real well.
You can? I can't. I got two modes.
Individually, I'm saying individually, I can't work and fan out, and I can't fan out and work. I just can't do it. So I tend to just sort of watch the game in a calmer environment. I had a great time last week. I was with a bunch of Bears fans. It was fantastic. I'll probably do that again. If I get invited back.
That's great. Yeah.
Where are you going to be watching? At home?
Right here. This is my office. I got the TV right there. I learned that the House from Friday, the original Friday movie.
Okay.
5 miles from SoFi. So if you guys are going to go to the watch party, go swing there. They do. You can go take your picture on the porch.
And that got somehow in your algorithm. How did you figure this one out randomly today?
LA Times had a list of the 101 best LA movies. And I'm obsessed with, I love movies and I love LA. So I had to check it out. And I was like, I love film locations. I don't know why. But I was watching Halloween. I was watching Halloween a couple of years ago, and I was like, "That's an Indian restaurant now in South Pasadena."
Amazing, yeah. Is it an Indian restaurant? I thought it was like a museum or something. It's a restaurant now.
Well, the house is right across the street from the Indian restaurant, but in the movie, it's the hardware store gets robbed, I think, and like they're like a Halloween mask, a rope, plastic bag. It's like all of the things for a murder kit. And they're like, just some kids. But anyway, there's a hardware store that gets robbed in the movie, and that's now an Indian restaurant. I think. Anyway, but I just go nuts for that stuff.
I mean, we should also have a Ryan Anderson, like fun facts around LA podcast, or
I would, yeah.
You should do it.
Sure. I can. I would love to. I would talk everybody's ear. Hey guys, if you're still around, if you're still hanging out with us, appreciate it.
Wow.
Thanks for tuning in. we will be
have
back.
Has anybody? I'm not even okay. All right.
Bye.
People are still watching. They're loving it. All right. I will see you Sunday, sir.
Sunday, people. Back
Sunday.
at it. Come back. Appreciate you. We'll see you then.
Hey, Ramley, thank you so much for hanging out with us and watching the Rams LAFB show. Quickly before you go, got to tell you about our friends over at Sleeper. It's the #1 sports app right now, and you've got to download it because it's got so many great features that I want to tell you about. Aside from season-long fantasy, which is the best in the business, they've also got live score trackers, in-game updates, plus the live chat where you can actually communicate with other users right on the app. But perhaps the best feature, at least that I like, is the daily fantasy feature or the live pick'em. Just pick 2 to 8 players across any sport, baseball, basketball, hockey, obviously football and our Rams. You're going to choose a player, just choose more or less. Matthew Stafford, more or less passing yards. Kyron Williams, more or less rushing yards, more or less touchdowns. 2 to 8, you can win real money. So when you go to make your first deposit, make sure you use our promo code RAMSLAFB, and Sleeper's going to give you a match bonus up to $100. So you deposit $100, they're going to give you $100 free. You're now sitting at $200. You put in $10, they're going to match you $10. You're now sitting at $20. But on top of that, right now, Sleeper is offering all new user signups a $20 free entry, no deposit required. Go sign up. You're automatically invested $20 straight from Sleeper. But you can stack that offer with that match bonus offer to add more money. Just make sure to use that promo code RAMSLAFB. Go check out Sleeper. Download it today. Tell them the guys at the Rams LAFB sent you. And as always, Ramley, thank you so much for making us a part of your day.
Hey guys, have you heard of Goldbelly? Oh my God, it's the coolest thing ever. It's this amazing site where they ship the most iconic famous foods from restaurants across the country, anywhere nationwide. I've never found a more perfect Valentine's gift. They ship Chicago deep dish pizza, New York bagels, Maine lobster rolls, and even Ina Garten's famous cakes. Seriously. So, if you're looking for a Valentine's Day gift for the food lover in your life, head to goldbelly.com and get 20% off your first order with promo code GIFT.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.